What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live, the Monday evening version. Yes, we are just about set for the sixth and final playoff game of the weekend. And you know, here at the Early Edge, powered as always by the almighty SportsLine, that we are here for every single game. Now, before I get started, we're a community here at CBS and SportsLine, and everybody knows that fantasy football today, we love those guys. But I need you to do something. We're going to win something next year, but we need them to win it this year. So here's what I need you to do. It'll just take you 10 seconds. Take down the chat. In the comments, there is a way for you to vote for them to win the best social media award. If they win, then here on our show, we're going to give away a bunch of Early Edge hoodies that all of you cry for all the time. So vote for them right now. And then get back in and let's get into our show. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know when it's the NFL playoffs, all my heavy hitters are here. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the Pit House level M squared. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, fellas. Ready for the first ever Monday night playoff football game. I love a side in the game. I'm teasing it, but let's do it. It's going to be a great game. I love this division rivalry.
Boom, 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 boom. Also, live from Nashville, Tennessee, 8 floors below. AB, dial up. What's good?
Hey, what's good? I'll tell you what, this game is going to kind of remind me of the janitor's closet here. Some parts are nice, some parts are messy, but it's going to be fun, man. Like, this is going to be a great game. And look, that analogy was terrible, but this game is going to be fantastic. I'm excited.
I was going to say, I don't know if I've ever seen anything nice in a janitor's closet. I've never seen anything nice. Maybe the mess, but nice? I don't know. All right. Live from parts unknown, he is our props God! Alex, good evening, sir.
Coach, what's good? Larry, AB, Mikey, great to see you guys. I am excited for some Monday night playoff football.
Boom! And the final man, you know the name, you know the face, you know he's our heartbeat. Maestro, good evening.
Great to be here, guys. Let's do it. And let's give a shout out because we got a birthday guy in the comments.
Oh, who's our birthday boy tonight?
Looks like Chill Will, the DJ.
Oh, Chill Will, the DJ, turning 19 tonight. All right, Chill Will, happy birthday to you, sir. By the way, Dartmouth is playing right now, so I know Jay Smooth will not be in the chat as he is really sweating that pick today. All right, let's get into storylines for tonight. We'll get into our best bets here, and we've got several in about 5 or 7 minutes. We got to talk about the storylines and how we feel like this game script could go, because as many of you know, that dictates our picks for the game. So, Mikey, I'm going to start with you. And tonight, if I would have told people at home that we've got 2 quarterbacks, one has played 3 playoff games, and the other one has played none, most people would think it was Matthew Stafford playing his first playoff game. That's not true. In 12 seasons, he played 3 in Detroit, 0-3, as you would expect. So how do you think both guys tonight are going to attack a game that they've never won before?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there will be, it'll be in the back of their minds. I think it's more in the back of the mind of Matthew Stafford, frankly, than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, obviously, it's his first being here, really. So he's played in a number of big games in his career. I like it when he plays on the road. He's talked about it numerous times that he likes his team on the road because he thinks they're more focused and not relaxed and comfortable at home. So that's what I like with him. But yeah, if it's in the mind of either one of them, I would think it's more in the mind of Stafford. Just he's that guy, new team. He's had his chances before. That's just where I think it'll be.
Okay. Maestro, let me come to you because you also have a first-time playoff coach. And we saw over the weekend some very questionable decision-making from the head coaches in the playoff games. Cliff Kingsbury on one side. Then you got a guy on the other side that's been to almost to the promised land. So which do you think has the advantage there?
Well, Sean McVay has the advantage, 9-1 straight up, 8-1-1 against the Cardinals. But what happened to the Rams in Week 18 is not being talked about enough. When you lose both starting safeties, you lose your defensive play caller in Jordan Fuller and Taylor Rapp. You're starting Nick Scott, Terrell Burgess, and you call up Eric Weddle, who hasn't played in 750 days, and he is supposed to get on the field tonight in a playoff game. I just think to lose those guys a few weeks earlier, okay, you can adjust, but you lose them in Week 18, and now you go to the playoffs. Obviously, the Cardinals aren't the same without DeAndre Hopkins, but they do get J.J. Watt back tonight. And through the first 6-7 weeks when he was in the lineup, this was a top 5 defense.
There's no doubt about it. AB, it would be like me calling you to play safety for the Rams and calling Eric Weddle tonight. Are you kidding me? But that's our reality. So when you look at how everything is going to be laid out, like Maestro just said, how do you think Kyler Murray attacks this depleted Rams defensive backfield?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have his options out there, right? And, you look at Kyler Murray, he has not had success at all against the Los Angeles Rams in his career. We're going to break that down in full here in more. But, yeah, I mean, that certainly helps. But the problem is this. That front seven for Los Angeles, they're kind of a problem. That front four is a problem, right? Like, you got to get through those guys first. So we'll see if he can do it. But, yeah, Kyler Murray historically has had bad games against Los Angeles Rams.
I think tonight's going to be a little bit different. But speaking of being a problem, the sports books call this man a problem. Alex, when you look at this playoff game and you went into the lab, was there anything technically that you were looking for between these two teams that know each other very, very well?
I like this matchup. These teams know each other well. As you mentioned, we've got a fairly high total, which I like. We also have a fairly low point spread, which indicates it should be a fairly competitive. Knock on wood, we've been saying that all weekend. But, yeah, it should be a fairly competitive game, potentially high scoring, lots of offense. Those things obviously lend well towards props hitting. So, yeah, I've got a lot of guys that I think are going to be heavily involved. I'm excited to get into it.
All right, let's get into it right now. If any of you in about 10 minutes have a prop that you like, that you would like us to discuss, that you may want to play, go ahead and put it in the chat. I need you to put the juice with it as well, because that matters. It's everything to my guys. But we're going to do our best bets right now. AB, I want to start with you. What do you like tonight?
Yep, I'll tell you what, we're going right to the two quarterbacks in this game, the two most consistent players that we are going to get the most opportunities out of. First, we're going to go Kyler Murray over half an interception. Here's exactly why. His career against the Rams, 1-5. All right, 21 points per average in these games. Touchdowns, 7. Interceptions, 6. And he's taken 18 sacks in his 6 games against the Rams. It has not been pretty. And you look, the Rams are going to come after him once again. However, we're going to jump to the other side here and go Matthew Stafford over half an interception as well. Now, understand this, and we're going to break this down here in a minute. Matthew Stafford is going to face a cover 3 defense out of Arizona, and you know what he has done? Burned them alive at cover 3. He loves it. He's 4th in yards per attempt in the NFL against cover 3, 3rd in yards completion in the NFL against cover 3. But here's the problem. He is 2nd to worst in the NFL in interceptions against cover 3 defenses. He cannot help himself. And you see a guy who's thrown 13 picks in his last 9 games and an interception in the last 4 straight. Yeah, both of these guys are putting one up tonight.
I tell you what, if anybody's living right when it comes to these interception props, it would be you. Derek Carr cashed with 12 seconds to go in the game in the Raiders and Bengals game. By the way, I forgot to mention, in the chat, for every 100 likes, we are dropping a 3-month free code to SportsLine into the chat. First come, first serve. We will not give out the donkey tonight until we get to 500 likes. So I need everybody in the chat. Do me a solid. Take your chat down. Hit that like button. Put that chat back up and continue talking. That's all I need you to do. All right, let me come to the Maestro. Up next, what do you like tonight, Mr. Hartstein?
Okay, well, I talked about Cooper Kupp, and I'm sure we're going to get into him even more once we get into player by player. And that was this morning on the show. But I want to talk about Zach Ertz over 5.5 receptions. He's gone over it in 4 straight since DeAndre Hopkins went out. 24% target share, the number 1 target for Kyler. We mentioned both starting safeties are out. Look at these targets. It's 13, 11, 9, and 10. Those are the last 4 games for Zach Ertz, and it's plus money. That's what I loved about this. Got one that's heavily juiced in minus, and I'm going to balance it out with Ertz. It just needs 6 catches.
That's all we need. Now, Cooper Kupp at some books has gone up to 8. If it's at 8, what do you do then, Maestro?
It's too steep for me. It was already borderline, and I meant to give it out when I got it at 135 last night, and then this morning it was 140. But I've seen it a lot higher in other books. He averages 8.5 catches. The 2 games against the Cardinals, 15 targets and 13 targets. One game he had 13 catches, but one game he only had 5 on 13 targets. But like we talked about this morning, big time game, big time player. He's their guy. Van Jefferson banged up, is active. That's a guy with 50 catches. So if he gets a few less, where's it going to go?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. All right, I love those two plays. Also, Uncle Dave from our props extravaganza on Friday, he is tailing the AB Kyler Murray over half an interception. Then also, he liked Cooper Kupp's yardage instead of receptions over 105.5, in a lot of places around 107 now, just to be accurate. All right, let me come to my man Alex. Prop Stars, what do you got for me?
Yeah, Coach, if I were to ask you who has led the Los Angeles Rams in targets each of the last 2 weeks, I think everyone would probably answer Cooper Kupp. That is actually incorrect. It is Tyler Higbee, of all people. Over 3.5 receptions. This is heavily juiced, but I definitely think it's worth the squeeze. He's cleared this total in 10 of 15 games this season, including 4 straight games. He's reemerged as a really just the second leading pass catcher for Los Angeles over the last month of the season. As I mentioned, he's led the team in targets each of the last 2 weeks in a row. He's had at least 5 catches over the past month, over the last 4 games, 29 combined targets as well. He is running some of the highest route totals among all tight ends in the NFL. He is on the field a ton. Might not be the sexiest pick, but yeah, this guy is going to catch 4 receptions tonight. I love it. Over 3.5 receptions. Take it to the bank.
All right. Well, a lot of books have taken it up to 4.5, but the juice is plus 150. So it's a big difference in juice, but that's a big difference in catches too. What would you do?
Yeah, it's a significant increase when you're looking at 4.5 compared to 3.5. I'd personally stay away. If you want to scale down a little bit further and maybe go a quarter unit on it, I'm okay with that. But I'm personally only playing it if it's 3.5.
Okay, very, very good. Thank you very much in the chat for tipping me off for that. Now, let me come to Mikey because I know you don't have an official play. You have them in a teaser leg, but talk about that teaser leg, but also any thoughts you have on anything that we've just done.
Yeah, so I've definitely taken notice of the workload for Tyler Higbee, obviously. So I like the play there for Alex. But I'm on the Cardinals plus 10. I played them when they were plus 4. I still like it at 9.5, and really even at 3 if it gets to 3 at 9. In a teaser leg, look, it's a divisional game. These games tend to be very competitive. I like the Cardinals a lot when they're playing away from home. I like Kyler Murray as an underdog. We fade the Arizona Cardinals when they're favorites. We back them when they're underdogs. It's been a very successful recipe so far this season. But yeah, I'm just expecting a competitive game. I think it's going to land within that key number. I obviously lean towards the Cardinals in the game. I think having J.J. Watt back helps them a little bit, maybe not quite as much pure on in terms of playing on the field, but he's definitely an emotional leader in that locker room. Getting him back definitely helps them in this kind of a spot, which I don't think can be really overstated in this spot, especially having the rookie QB there. So I like Arizona in the game personally, and the Cooper Kupp, I personally feel fine going over 8. I know it's a high number. I know those can be kind of fragile, but I personally think that it's not going to be a Rams blowout. And when the game is at least competitive or them potentially trailing, I think Cooper Kupp's going to see 15 targets in this game.
Wow, 15 targets in this game.
Well, that would be on brand. Might have an average depth of 3 yards, but he's going there, just like we talked about with Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel. Cooper Kupp's going to touch the football early and often.
Well, we've been talking about the entire weekend, and it has been the same storyline through every single game. All of these quarterbacks are looking for their favorite target, and there is no bigger favorite target in the league than Cooper Kupp to Matthew Stafford. So now, to be clear,
Coach,
yes, AB.
Oh, apologies. I wanted to hop in really quickly and just drop a nugget. This could be the nugget of the year before we got going on everything, but here it is. All good with you?
Please.
All right, good. All right. The magic number in this game tonight is 24. You're speaking of familiarity. The Rams, familiar as hell with the number 24. And I'll tell you why. When the Rams allow 24 or fewer points this season, they are 12-0. 25 points or more, 0-5.
Interesting. So the team total prop, AB, is the Cardinals 23. Do you think they knew that? You think they knew that? That's the number.
Yes.
That's the number, 23. Do you like it?
I do.
Don't you like it? You like it? Over?
Yep.
All right. So that would mean the Cardinals would win. based off.
Well, they'd have to get to 25 to fit this number, right?
Yeah.
That's tough. Over that 24.5, that one's difficult. But if it's at 23, yeah, I like playing the over there for Arizona.
Okay. By the way, my man Joe in the chat was saying exactly what I was thinking. Second time AB messed up my flow today. Morning and evening. It's okay. He's allowed. All right, Alex, let me come to you because we got a lot of props to talk about. AJ Green, we may or may not mention him later in the show. His yardage prop is 43.5 juiced to -130. Thank you, Josh. And his catches is over 3.5 juiced to -105. Talk to me.
Yeah, I think these are pretty attainable numbers for AJ Green. Actually, there is a number that I do like even more than both his receptions and his yardage total. That is his longest reception. I believe it's set at 20.5. If you want to double check that for me while I'm on it. Yep, it is set at 20.5. He's actually, I want to say he's cleared this in 14 of 16 games this season, which is obviously an exceptionally high hit rate. He has one of the deepest average depth of targets on the Cardinals. So, yeah, I think that is where I would go as far as AJ Green is concerned. So, yeah, I would actually look to attack it that way.
Okay, very good. Let me come to you, Mikey. Kyler Murray. We usually talk about his legs, but Douglas would like to know about his arm. Over 248.5, juiced to -114.
So I'll lean over on it. I think that they're going to have a lot of yardage in this game either way. And I think they're going to put themselves in positions to do that. So it's a classic one where I'm definitely not taking the under on it personally. Lean towards the over.
All right. Maestro.
Yeah, I would lean over on his completions at 23.5. If you look at the last game they faced him, 32 out of 49 against the Rams. In the first game, 24 out of 32, and that was with an extremely positive game script where Arizona got up with the turnovers, still completed 24 passes, a lot of short passes, obviously. So I lean over on completions.
AB.
Sorry. No, I got it.
Oh, in the evening. Oh, Jay Smooth makes an appearance. Mikey, anything to say?
Yeah,
I'm just going to let him go.
I love it. Now, going off what Maestro was just saying, Maestro and M Squared, both correct. There's another thing in regards to Kyler Murray. I know I laid out that he hasn't had, great games against the Rams, but understand this, all right? This season, the Rams have given up 36 completions of 25-plus yards or more. It's fifth most in the NFL, and they've given up 6 of those to Arizona, and the Cardinals were 8th in the league with 39 completions of 25-plus yards or more. I understand that their wide receiver positions have changed with injuries throughout the year. That being said, Kyler Murray could drop a few bombs tonight.
Okay, very, very good. Alex, talk to me.
I did, just to piggyback onto what AB was saying too. AJ Green has caught at least a 21-yard reception in 13 of 16 games this season. So that is obviously a tremendous hit rate. And yeah, why I would attack that over 20.5 longest reception.
All right. I'm going to take one from the chat. Will Murray, 2 touchdowns each half, plus 650. Don't do it. All right, so let's move on. Mikey, Sony Michel, he is that back for the Rams. His number is set at 58.5 on the ground. Talk to me.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I'm wondering when or how much Cam Akers is going to start to take market share from him. That is my major concern. My other concern is just all the depth, even including at wide receiver. I expect a much more competitive game. So I think it really comes down to which side of the game you're on as to whether or not I would play it there. If you like the Rams and think the Rams win this game, and you're definitely betting the Rams against the spread, then I think it's fine to lean over on it. For me, it's just a stay away, but because I personally think the Cardinals are very live to win this game. So I'm staying away from his prop here just because I'm very concerned about Cam Akers at some point having an expanded workload, and then Cooper Kupp, big game, and Tyler Higbee emerging the way he is. It's just one of those spots where I think I'd rather stay away personally. But I'd love Alex's take on it because I think he probably has a better opinion on this one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Could I jump in really quickly and then prop stars, you go. No, it's only
Are you
because
trying to win? Are you trying to win a bet with somebody? Because I feel
No,
like that's
yeah,
what you're
I
trying
know.
to do.
It
I
seems
feel
like
like you did.
No, it seems
Did
like
you
I
bet
am.
somebody you would interrupt 10 times tonight?
No, but I have just done a ton of research on this game, and I went and found.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and found exactly how Sean McVay and this Rams staff is going to use Cam Akers, and it interests me the way that he worded it. He said, Sean McVay said, the Los Angeles Rams sports scientific statisticians will study him carry by carry on a completed pitch count and see where his body flow and injury is tonight. I'm telling you, that's exactly what he said. And it sounds insanity, but what it means is if my man starts going off, good luck anybody else, because he's going to get as many carries as he wants.
You know what's funny? That's exactly how I treat Alex when I come to how much we're going to use him on the shows too. Alex, what were you going to say? That's crazy.
Yeah,
what were you going to say?
I would say it's a stay away from me as well. I think Mike summed it up perfectly. Just not knowing Cam Akers' involvement. He is a supremely talented back. I think if he were to get rolling early, kind of like what AB alluded to, there is a good chance that kind of they take a hot hand approach in the backfield. So while it is an intriguing number, and he's definitely more than capable of going over, we've seen Sony Michel have some monster workloads. Just not knowing kind of how clearly defined each role is going to be. Cam Akers had 5 carries last week. I think a lot of people expected a higher workload, more involvement. This could be the week for sure. All the reports have been glowing as far as how he looks in practice. So, if he eats into it 8 to 10 carries, that'd be a significant loss of work for Sony Michel. So, yeah, I'm personally staying away as well.
All right. Very, very good. Several more to get to. AB, finally one that fits into yours since AB won't shut up. How about Arizona Rams over 3.5 field goals made?
You know what's funny? I was actually just going to hit mute and literally not talk because I have interrupted like every segment on this show already. Field goals. Look, I'll say this. I was looking at this earlier. Matt Gay for the Rams. I think that's where you're going to find value here because Sean McVay is already a conservative style coach. Multiply that by 5 in the playoffs. Multiply it by another 5 in a division game in the playoffs at home. I think Matt Gay, if you're going to play any field goal prop, Matt Gay over 1.5. I believe it's priced at minus 120. I think that's your best bet here.
All right. John,
I was just
going to read. AB brought 20 packs of nuggets tonight. I thought that was funny. Maestro, talk to me, and then Mikey piggyback.
I would lean over Prater on 1.5 just because they have really struggled in the red zone, especially without DeAndre Hopkins. And you look at Prater, 5 of the last 6 games, multiple field goals. So that's kind of the kicker prop I like.
Yep. And I will echo that as well. You look at Matt Prater, he also is a dangerous weapon from distance here for him. He has 7 field goals of 50-plus yards this season. The beautiful part about this game, both coaches are overly conservative, and they will take the field goal. There's no elements to deal with, right? It's an indoor game. There's no wind. There's no weather determining, forcing a hand on maybe going for it on 4th and 4 in some of these other situations. So, yeah, I do. While I'm not someone who normally would play kicker stuff, I've talked about it a lot. I'm using the kickers heavily in my DFS lineups tonight. I look back. I know fantasy points doesn't mean a lot to other people, but Matt Prater has like 15 fantasy points in several games this year because of those long 50-yard field goals. I think he's going to be a real weapon for them tonight.
All right. Bravo Commander 21 says, I'm here at the game. Bravo. Type into the chat what the atmosphere is like. What's the hype like? I kind of want to get a feeling of how the feel is at the game, if you could do that for me. Alex, I got to come to you because I can't believe that we've gotten this far into the show, and we have not talked about Kyler Murray's legs. His number is 40.5 tonight. What is it?
Yeah, I like quite a bit. I've talked about how there is a narrative concerning mobile quarterbacks, how like I had always thought that they rush more in the playoffs and crucial games and stuff like that. I'd never seen a real deep dive into if the actual data backs that up until recently. And most mobile quarterbacks, they average, I think, an average of 7 yards more rushing on a per game basis in the playoffs compared to the regular season. So I do anticipate Kyler Murray running more, relying more on his legs. However, this line opened in the low 30s and has just has steamed itself up to 40, where I think it's fairly efficient. I think if you got on this when it was 32.5, provided some great value there. I think at the present number, though, it is fairly efficient. I'd still lean over on it, but I'm staying away at the current number.
Yeah, that seems like a really good advice. Last night was nice. We hit the Patrick Mahomes in one run, which was pretty nice. That played into the narrative that you were kind of talking about. You have something there, AB?
Yeah, sorry. Again, this is the last time I'm going to interrupt.
Stop apologizing. Everything you're saying matters. I'm kidding. Everything you say matters. Stop apologizing. You are money. You are money. All kidding aside. So please go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want to make this an official play. And Jeweler, I know I'm throwing this at you, so you can't put it on the graphic here. So understand, I'll repeat it like 5 times, whatever, how many we need to. Give me Kyler Murray, longest rush over 14.5 yards. I'm with Prop Stars here in regards to the yardage. I don't feel terrible about it, but you're not getting it at a valued number. But I will take that longest rush over 14.5. So make that official for me for sure.
Okay,
I like
official
that
for
too.
AB.
I just got a sick feeling looking at what Bravo Commander said, looking at Cooper Kupp's leg. He twisted his leg a little bit. They're looking at him right now.
Like in warm-up.
Oh, see, that's why I asked him to do that. That's exactly why. Okay, so let me read it to everybody.
I mean,
they're looking at Cooper Kupp's leg. It's beautiful inside here. He was throwing the ball, and he twisted his leg a little bit, so they're looking at him right now. Bravo, keep us updated on how he looks.
Before it steams up to 5.5 receptions.
Oh, snap. You're right. Shoot. All right, I got to get that in right now. While I'm doing that and everybody else is, Tyler Higbee, you said the catch, not the yardage, right?
I prefer the reception total here.
All right. You're right. It's going to steam up in a hurry. These books don't mess. What did we say? Where's the catches? Where's the Tyler Higbee? I still have 4.5, but it's plus money. I'm going to play it. Screw it. Because I like the plus money, and I like Tyler Higbee, and I like what you said. Now, let me come back to you, Maestro, because you already talked about Kyler Murray and his completions at 23.5. The chat wants to know, what about Matthew Stafford? Same number, pretty much same juice.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean under just because of how well he played the last time he faced this team and what AB talked about in terms of how he does like to attack this scheme. But I'm not a play for me, but I would lean over.
Okay, very, very good. Let me come back to you, AB. Cup, anytime touchdown, you're getting plus money. Not a lot of plus money, but it's plus 120. He finds the end zone, it seems like, every single game.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we got to find out about this leg thing. But again, it could be nothing. I hope that he's okay. But, yeah, I mean, we've got Cooper Kupp in our anytime TD in the parlay for today. And you're right. I mean, this is a guy who finds the end zone regardless of game script, regardless of, what the score is. They're up big, down big, whatever. Yeah, if there's anybody that you put your money on to score, it's Cooper Kupp.
All right, Mikey, let me come to you. Longest reception. We've really been able to cash these a lot this year. Christian Kirk, his number is 21.5, longest catch tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely not taking the under on it. He takes deep shots down the field. So if you like Kirk at all, I would definitely play the over. I do think it's an interesting way to play him without trying to go to his full yardage prop. So, yeah, at 53.5, I would lean over on the 21.5 out of all the plays on the board here. I would basically project him for 3.5 to 4 catches, 42, 43 yards, but hopefully getting the one bigger catch. So out of all the props on Kirk, over 21.5 would be the one I would play.
Would you say he would fit into this category? And here's what I'm going to do. So in the chat, it just disappeared. Damn it. All right, here we go. AL Sports says, Coach, I won over $1,200 using your picks yesterday with Pringle yards and anytime touchdown score. Thanks, guys. Now, who is today's Pringle? You can only have just one. Mike, would that be Christian Kirk?
It could be Christian Kirk. I'm very interested to see how they work in Rondale Moore, who is active. And then I'm also concerned with the fact that both Chase Edmonds and James Conner are active for the game as well. There's just so much unknown combined with the fact that Kyler wants to run a lot more. At least that's what I'm projecting in the spot. So I'm being very careful there. The answer would have been Antoine Wesley. I think that he's very clearly earning a lot of respect from the coaching staff, from Kyler Murray. Huge weapon in the red zone to get that touchdown. But for me, there's just simply too much known that the only thing I can comfortably bet on the Arizona side is Kyler Murray and Zach Ertz.
Okay. That seems very, very fair. Alex, let me come back to you because there's a very big time name. And I'm assuming the juice is because he's a big-time name because it's not like he's been fantastic. I'm talking about OBJ, right? His number is 3.5, but it's juiced to -155. His yardage is 46.5. It's only -110.
Yeah, I'd look more towards the yardage. They're using him deep down the field. He has, I believe he actually has an even deeper ADOT, don't quote me on this, than every receiver on the Rams since joining the team, including Van Jefferson. If it's not, it's very close to Van Jefferson as well. So yeah, he's running his routes very deep down the field. So I do prefer to attack his yardage because he is capable of securing a 40-yard pass very easily. He's also getting a lot of red zone targets as well. So yeah, I'm personally looking more towards his yardage. Van Jefferson is banged up. If there's a chance that, Cooper Kupp's not operating at 100%, I would like it. Other than that, I would stay away. I've just kind of seen some volatility out of him. So yeah, I would look towards his yardage over his receptions though.
All right, very good. Eric in the chat says, FYI, I love when you guys take care of each other. I love it. Absolutely love it. Kyler longest rush at FanDuel is still 13.5. So jump on that right now because we like it at 14.5. Right, AB? That was your number, 14.5?
Correct,
All right.
sir.
All right, very, very good. All right, I think Adelco. Now, Matthew Stafford. None of those work. All right, we've gotten to all the numbers. We've gotten to all the props. So now, we've got two very big things left to do. Did we get to 500 likes?
We smashed past 500 likes. We're at 580 right now.
Damn. Good job by everybody. I mean, does Chief have timing or what? Does Chief have timing or what? That is Chief saying this to all of you in the chat. You all don't want to enter one more primetime game without a donkey. Mikey, is the donkey ready?
The donkey is ready, but Chief is not having it.
All right, so why don't we do VJMs first, and we'll see.
We're good now. We're good. We're good.
Oh, we're good.
Now.
Okay. All right. Let's do the donkey first. Here we go.
All right. Donkey parlay for tonight. LA Rams +6.5 on the alternate spread. Arizona Cardinals +10.5 on the alternate spread. Over 38.5. Kyler Murray over 34.5 rushing yards. Zach Ertz over 40 receiving yards. And Cooper Kupp 8+ receptions +525.
Oh, that's a nice number, Mikey. That's a really nice number. All right, let's leave it up there for a second. Let everybody soak it in. For those of you that are allowed to play this, you want to get it in because, man, this has become such a popular thing, which I love. By the way, somebody in the chat said there's over 1,100 people watching right now. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So thank you to all of you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedules to spend it with us here at the Early Edge and SportsLine. It means the world to us. But what also means the world to us is getting into the club. And that has been one of the great competitions of 2021-2022. Now, we have some big time plans for this particular segment next season. But right now, it's all about bragging rights. So, Mikey, you're the originator. You're the OG. You're the man. You get to go first. Who do you like tonight?
All right. So yeah, in these spots, it's typically what I obviously run everything with a simulation. It's typically going to be the team that is the underdog that has the most value in these spots. For me tonight, it's Chase Edmonds, especially with James Conner back and active. This number's down to 1,400 plus 1,400 here. He's just able to take one to the house, obviously, anytime in the passing game. I still expect him to be used quite a bit. I would expect James Conner to be somewhat limited in this game. I expect a true 50-50 timeshare at worst for Chase Edmonds in this game. So I like him to find the end zone first.
All right, I like that a lot. And don't worry, we're going to be here a little bit longer tonight. We're going to go over all these again because we get a brand new audience coming at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. So don't worry. We'll go over all this again. Now, there's a two-time champ in the VJM competition. And clearly he's been feeling himself today because he feels like he can talk whenever he wants. AB, who are you taking tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be great for all of us. It's going to be tough for guys like Sony Michel because what's going to happen? The Rams are going to get to the red zone. Sean McVay's going to say, let's test Cam Akers out. Let's see what he looks like in the red zone. And they're going to give him one handoff, and he's going to take it right into the crib, baby. So give me Cam Akers plus 1,300. He gets the job done tonight.
I have been shocked at some of these numbers that have come out tonight and almost want to question them if I didn't already look at them myself. All right, plus 1,300. I have a feeling that big-ass smile of yours is going to be all over tonight. All right, so we've got Chase Edmonds. We've got Cam Akers. Now we got to go to the man himself, the maestro. What are you picking tonight?
Well, I love this one. We talked about Wesley as the jump ball red zone threat, leads the Cardinals in red zone targets since DeAndre Hopkins went down. 5 targets, 3 touchdowns in his last 3 games. This guy is big. He's, what is he, like 6'4", 206 pounds. I think he's got a shot. And you can get this around 30 to 1. I got 33 to 1. I'm seeing 28 to 1. It's a huge payout.
Yeah. You know, whenever you have a potential $3,100 payout, and it doesn't come through. It stings for a little bit longer than 24 hours. Make a putt on 18, please. Oh, sorry, I digress. Okay. Now, I know I tease this man a lot. I know that he knows his value here at the show. He knows how important he is to the success of what we do. But alas, he still has to show his member guest card to get into the club. Alex, talk to me.
It's painful too. It doesn't always work either. They don't let me in half the times, and the couple of times I've gone in, they came up and tapped me on the shoulder after I've taken my jacket off and told me to get out of the premises immediately. So I am really trying to get in here any means necessary. Nothing is working. It is killing me, but I'm going to make this happen tonight. Kyler Murray plus 1,400. We talked about mobile quarterbacks rushing more in the playoffs, averaging 6 yards more rushing per game compared to their regular season averages. I do anticipate Kyler Murray having to rely on his legs. AB likes his longest rushing attempt. I like that as well. Let's get a 20-yard rushing touchdown for the first touchdown of the game. Cash both those tickets. Kyler Murray.
I like that a lot. I actually was looking at that one myself. Then I thought to myself, no, I think Alex is going to be taking Kyler Murray. So I switched my focus, and I went to the players that Kyler Murray will be throwing to. And my pick has already been thrown to the Wolves. My pick. Nobody even thinks he can catch the ball anymore. My pick. People think his career is over. Oh, but A.J. Green, talk to me tonight. You were everything in Cincinnati, and they threw you out. But we still love you here at the early edge. So let's go plus 1,250, A.J. Green, and get my second ticket into the club. Now, there is one man that has yet to even be allowed in the club, and it's bothering him. And it may or may not be affecting his producing abilities. But Jeweler, oh, my man, you've got what, 3 weekends left to get into the club?
Yeah, it's time's running out. You know, we're going to midnight. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I do know that tonight we're going to have a good shot with Zach Ertz scoring the first touchdown of the game at plus 1,500. If you look at who has the most targets in the NFL, from week 15 to 18, since DeAndre Hopkins has gone down with that knee injury, Zach Ertz, tied for third. That's a T3 right there, which is worse than a second, which you would know a little bit about with Russell Henley. But plus 1,500 for Zach Ertz. Like Mike says, we go with the value on the underdog.
Wow, that was a little bit too soon. You can
at least
I respect it.
You can at least take solace in the fact that you jumped me in the one and done league on first cut. So
do you think
congratulations there?
Do you think I care about jumping you and not cashing $3,000? I do. Damn it, I do care. So you're right. I'm very, very happy about it.
Well, you could have. I mean, you basically had like a hedge opportunity. You could have walked away easily with 1,500.
We talked about it, And then I'm not going to blame Mikey, but he said exactly what I was thinking. There were 3 guys right behind Hideki that could have easily had a good day too. So you're right. I could have. I chose not to.
Yeah.
I chose not to.
This is the first cut.
Now. All right, we are approaching the top of the hour. So we're going to recap our best bets, recap the donkey, and I know the jeweler wanted to get close to kickoff as possible, but we don't like to push anything. So let's recap because we have a brand new audience coming in just about right now. And before we get to those, for those new people, and I apologize for those of you who have been around for a little while, but you know how we work. Every 8 or 9 minutes, it's a new audience. AB, briefly describe your best bets tonight and why.
Absolutely, sir. We're going to go both quarterbacks to throw an interception. Kyler Murray, he's 1-5 against the Rams. Has 7 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions. We're also going to go Matthew Stafford over half an interception because he is going to face cover 3 and will eat that alive in terms of yardage. But he has a horrid rate in regards to interceptions against cover 3, second to third worst in the NFL. We're going to play both of those. Our last play, Kyler Murray, longest rush over 14.5 yards.
Oh, I like that a lot. I love those interception props. Uncle Dave from our prop Aluza on Fridays. He's backing up your Kyler Murray over half an interception. He also likes Cooper Kupp's yardage tonight, -115. Still waiting for our next update from the stadium from our reporter, Bravo Commander, on site for the early edge. All right, Maestro, you're next up. Knowing that Cooper Kupp did something to his leg, does that sway you at all?
You know what is really scary when you type in Cooper Kupp leg in Twitter and then you see cart coming out for Cooper Kupp, but it's actually a 4-year-old tweet from Adam Schefter.
Oh, gosh.
Let's hope he's fine. This guy's a machine. Average 8.5 catches per game, 15 targets and 13 targets in the 2 meetings with Arizona. So I love Cooper Kupp over 7.5 catches. And Zach Ertz, the top target since DeAndre Hopkins went down, averaging double-digit targets, has cleared 5.5 catches in all 4 games since Hopkins went down. And I should also mention the Rams give up a ton to tight ends, especially in the middle of the field, especially within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. I didn't want to go over his yards, which has climbed all the way from like 52 to 56.5, because I think there's going to be a lot of those 6- and 7-yard catches for Zach Ertz tonight.
All right, I love that as well. Real quick, several people have asked, and I've omitted it. Mikey, I need to come to you because we haven't even touched on the total, and people are wondering what we are on. What's your thought process on the total, which I believe is around 49? Jeweler, what's the exact number we're on right now? 48.5, I believe? 48.5. Mikey, can you briefly talk about the total?
Yeah, this one is super, super interesting here. I lean towards the over at the number of 48.5. My number is 49.2 in the simulation. So it's basically dead on. I think that's where it should be. I have to lean towards the over, just the way that these offenses can score in big plays, but not something I'm going to end up playing. I feel like the best way to still attack it is going to be a teaser, and it's going to be taking the underdog up and then bring that number down. You get it down under 44, you're going to be in really good shape, just because it's such a key number in these divisional games. You have a game that ends 24-20, and right now at the current number in the market, you're home free on everything. So that's what I would recommend doing if you wanted to play the total, because I don't really have an edge at this point on it.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I had some people ask me personally, what can they tease with it? Because you had the Cardinals tease with, who was the other team you had them tease with, Mikey?
The 49ers.
The 49ers. So and so they were wondering, how can I tease them tonight if I didn't do that teaser? And doing the under or doing the over and bringing it down would be one way. Is there any other way that you could look at teasing the Cardinals up to 10 with anything else?
If you want to delay it all the way until next week, I think that there's an interesting spot to tease the Bills up to 8.5 against Kansas City. The 49ers, you could potentially, I don't find a ton of value in teasing at 5.5 up there. The Bengals would get you to 9.5 against Tennessee. But for me personally, it would probably be Buffalo plus 8.5 against Kansas City.
All right. Very good. Great information there. Thank you, Mikey, very much. All right, Alex, let's come to you now on your best bet for tonight. Talk to me.
Yeah, I've got Tyler Higbee over 3.5 receptions. He's cleared this total in 10 of 15 games, including 4 straight games. Led the team in targets each of the last 2 weeks in a row. Has had at least 5 catches over the last 4 weeks or 4 games. 29 combined targets as well. Running some of the highest route totals in the NFL amongst tight ends. Love me some Tyler Higbee tonight, over 3.5 receptions. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jack Settleman on Twitter. He just said that Kyler Murray is extremely mispriced as the first TD scorer at plus 1,400.
Wow, that's got to be making you feel fantastic.
That does indeed,
fantastic. I mean, he should be like plus 28 or something. So I feel what they're saying on Twitter. You're right. I'm kidding. All right. Now, Chris in the chat says, have you guys already done the donkey? Don't worry. We're going to do it one more time before we go off the air. So you haven't missed anything yet. So Alex has done his. AB has done his. Uncle Dave, Maestro. We've already talked with Mikey. Also, a couple of AB3s are up in the air. Now, AB, I need you to jump in here because somebody in the chat said that their book would not allow them to put these 3 things together. So what do we do?
Yeah, it's tough, depending on which book, because there's some books that don't have interception props, right? I believe DraftKings and FanDuel do not run interception props, and it might depend on state as well. So you just kind of have to play with what your book is going to give you as an option. If you look at FanDuel, you're going to have plenty more in terms of you could run alternative spreads, you could run alternative totals, you could go passing yardage, completions. There's a lot that if you look at in terms of the quarterbacks, in terms of star running backs, wide receivers. So that one is tough, but I believe that we've got enough out here to where you could probably just mix and match, right? Like if you can't get interceptions, you could look at Zach Ertz, receptions here, Cooper Kupp receptions as well. So, yeah, you've got the screen here of what to work at. You've got the answers. Just kind of put it together how you want.
I think it'd be a great little potpourri. Just grab something from this line, from this line. I love it. Make sure it all comes from this page, from what you're seeing right now. Otherwise, don't blame us if it doesn't hit.
Kickers are on there too. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, like Mike and Maestro broke down. Kickers should be on there as well. So, yeah, you can use those too.
All right. By the way, if you're one of the lucky ones who played the AB3 from Friday, then you need the Rams to win tonight. And you're cashing that at plus 150. So we got a lot of things that are in play tonight. All right, one final thing to do, and then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge and give you guys about 7 or 8 minutes to get all of your bets in. And you know what that is. People love that donkey. And we had a lot of new people come in at 8 o'clock. So, Mikey, if you don't mind, I'd love for you to go over it just one more time, please.
All right. Rams plus 6.5 on the alternate spread. Arizona Cardinals plus 10.5 on the alternate spread. Over 38.5 total points in the game. Kyler Murray over 34.5 rushing yards. Cooper Kupp 8 receptions or more. Zach Ertz over 40 receiving yards.
All right, a tasty 525. All right, I do need to say this because you guys are looking at 4 dudes who worked their ass off this weekend for 6 different games and 6 different hours. I worked at ESPN for 10 years, never worked with 4 dudes like this, ever. So say thank you because they are busting their ass for you to make you some money at home. All right, I like to finish every single show. Let my guys tell you what they're most looking forward to tonight so you can kind of look forward to and kind of break the game down amongst yourselves. So, Mikey, start us off. What are you most looking forward to tonight, sir?
I'm looking forward to see how Kyler Murray handles this situation. I hope that he runs for a few yards. I hope they go down and score a touchdown relatively early in the game. I need him to stay within 10, but most of all, I want to see a good competitive divisional playoff game here. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
It's so great to have it on a Monday night, isn't it? This is so great. AB, talk to me.
If you'd have just said Maestro, I was going to interrupt one more time just to end the show correctly. Look, I'll say this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the betting public is 5-0, 4 favorites, and then they had the 49ers. And I believe the public's on the Arizona Cardinals tonight. So I'm fascinated to see if the public can just smash the books and finish perfect for Wild Card Weekend.
Well, I like that idea too. Alex, what do you got?
I can't wait to see Tyler Higbee catch 4 passes. I can't wait to see Kyler Murray have a big run, potentially the first touchdown of the game, cash AB's ticket and my ticket. I'm also very interested to see how that backfield shakes out for Los Angeles if Cam Akers gets rolling tonight and ends up overtaking Sony Michel. And last of all, I just want to see a very competitive, close, high-scoring game.
Oh, man. Oh, I want some points tonight, too. But mostly I want to hear from the maestro. What are you looking forward to, sir?
You know what? I was itching to get down on the side of this game because, Saturday was very frustrating with the Raiders, and then Sunday was beautiful. And I just keep coming back to the fact the Rams are out, their starting safeties, and the Cardinals are out, DeAndre Hopkins, and their offense has not been the same, and they've lost 4 of 5. And I know all the trends about them as an underdog and them on the road, and I just couldn't get to either side. So I'm just going to be pulling for all of the picks that we've seen here, and especially Kupp and Ertz to go off.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to trying to figure out over the course of the next 5 to 6 minutes whether or not I'm going to play the Cardinals or I'm going to play the over and just hope for a bunch of points tonight. I think I'm just going to play the over and just hope for the best because I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm tired of kicking myself every time I pick one side and it's the other. So let's go over. Mikey, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right. It's the last playoff game. Jeweler, show your face. You never get to say what you're looking forward to. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Zach Ertz catching the first touchdown of the game. Walk straight down to the club.
Like this?
Yeah, late to the party. Look, you never want to be the first guy at the club. That's
It's very true.
You're a dork. You want to be the guy that shows up at 45 minutes before that club shuts down. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, very, very good. Very good. It would be apropos if the jeweler won tonight. So then everybody – oh, sorry, Alex. Everybody would have got in on their own. I didn't even see that one coming. That was just a bonus. All right. All right. You guys have about 6 minutes to get these bets in. So we're going to say there's only one thing left to do. And you all know what that is. I love this moment so much. That means we've just did a great show. That just meant that you guys spent an hour with us, and it means the game's about to start. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Monday night playoff NFC West tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire hard-working crew, AB, who never shuts up, Mikey, the genius, Alex, he's the best, and the maestro, who's our heartbeat, and of course, the jeweler, our executive producer, who puts it all together here at the brand. I am simply the coach. Tell all your friends, you want to have fun? You want to be included? You want to be educated and entertained? It's right here at the Early Edge. Good luck tonight.